Hollywood has become a dangerous place for anyone daring to go against the mainstream narrative. The consequences are very real, often brutal.
As soon as my cancellation happened, I had reporters showing up. I had drones looking at my place because it looked out onto the ocean, and there was drones popping up. There was like people in vans, and there was people following me. I was just very exposed, which was very dangerous of Disney to have made the comment they did.
What did they say?
They said, we do not support Gina. We're not going to work with her anymore based off of her. Something about cultural and basically calling me a racist.
In fact, 62% of Americans admit they're afraid to openly share their political views. And in Hollywood, those risks are even higher.
You're getting as bad as Biden. When somebody does not do the job, you gotta let them go.
In this video, we'll dive into the stories of famous Hollywood figures who put their careers on the line to stand up for what they believe in, no matter the cost. But before we get started, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It's free for you, and it really helps us bring you more content like this. First up, we have Chris Pratt, star of Guardians of the Galaxy and Jurassic World. While he's never made any particularly controversial statements, he still found himself under fire for what he didn't say or do. Back in 2020, Pratt became a target of online criticism, with many accusing him of being politically conservative and a supporter of Donald Trump, despite the fact that Pratt has never publicly stated his political views. The controversy started when Pratt was spotted wearing a t-shirt with an image of a coiled rattlesnake, a reference to the Gadsden flag, which dates back to the American Revolution. Some media outlets, like Yahoo, tried to paint this symbol as a white supremacist emblem, but political commentator Ben Shapiro was quick to call this narrative ridiculous, stating, "Not every symbol from early American history is a symbol of white supremacy, unless you're a moron." The attacks on Pratt didn't stop there. He stirred up more backlash after sharing an Instagram post promoting his movie with a tongue-in-cheek comment about voting. He wrote, "With everything going on in the world, it's more important than ever that you vote for the People's Choice Awards." The sarcastic tone didn't sit well with everyone, especially during such a politically charged time. The tipping point came when Pratt didn't participate in a virtual fundraiser for Joe Biden, an event that featured many of his Marvel co-stars. Social media quickly labeled him as the worst Chris in Hollywood. Despite the growing pressure, Pratt has chosen to remain silent in the face of these accusations, refusing to address them directly. Yet, his silence hasn't been without support. Robert Downey Jr., one of his fellow Marvel stars, defended Pratt on Instagram saying, "What a world! The sinless are casting stones at my brother Chris Pratt, a real Christian who lives by principles that have only ever shown positivity and gratitude." Through it all, Pratt continues to be a leading box office star, proving that even in Hollywood, staying true to yourself can be a bold stand in itself, especially when facing the relentless pressures of woke culture. Gina Carano's story is a striking example of how quickly things can change for a public figure in Hollywood when they speak against the mainstream narrative. Carano, a former MMA fighter-turned-actress, rose to fame for her role as Cara Dune in the hit Star Wars series, The Mandalorian. However, in February 2021, her career took a sharp turn after she posted a controversial message on social media, drawing parallels between being a Republican today and being Jewish during the Holocaust.
Nazi Germany didn't start just with people just waking up being Nazis and like demonizing, like throwing Jews into the concentration camps. It didn't start there. It started before that. It started with propaganda. You had to kind of start urging people to make it okay to demonize your neighbor and to hate people for whatever differences it was. At that time, it was Jewish people.
The post sparked outrage, particularly from the left, who accused her of trivializing the horrors of the Holocaust. Lucasfilm, the company behind Star Wars, swiftly fired her, labeling her comments as abhorrent and unacceptable. What raised even more eyebrows was the fact that her co-star, Pedro Pascal, had made a similar comparison regarding the treatment of migrants at the US border, yet faced no backlash.
Don't care how you invoke the Holocaust if you happen to be of a different political persuasion.
No.
And I pointed out on Twitter right away, as soon as this broke, that Pedro Pascal, who was your co-star in The Mandalorian, the lead in that show, that Pedro Pascal had put out a Holocaust meme in 2018 in which he not only got the facts wrong, he actually posted a picture from not the American border in 2018 and called it America 2018. He then compared the treatment of migrant children in 2018 to victims of the Holocaust in 1941, which is absolutely absurd on every level.
This fueled criticism of double standards in Hollywood. Despite losing her role, Carano remained unapologetic. In subsequent interviews, she spoke out against Disney and Lucasfilm, even revealing that they had instructed a graphic artist to erase her character digitally and replace her with another. Rather than fading into obscurity, Carano found support in conservative circles. She landed a new film deal with The Daily Wire, a conservative media outlet, where she is now working on producing and starring in her own projects. "This is a message of hope for everyone living in fear of being cancelled by the mob," Carano said. "They can't cancel us if we don't let them." Carano's experience shows how quickly Hollywood can turn its back on those who defy the prevailing views, but it also highlights that some are willing to push back against cancel culture. A different but similarly telling story is that of comedian Bill Maher, who has long been known for his liberal views and sharp criticisms of conservatives. However, in recent years, Maher has increasingly found himself at odds with the woke left. On his HBO show Real Time, Maher has been vocal about his concerns over what he sees as an overreach of political correctness and a fixation on identity politics. In 2021, Maher shocked many of his liberal followers when he began speaking out against the extreme views within progressive circles.
Mr. Emmanuel Cafferty, he was a San Diego gas and electric worker, but he got fired because someone reported him making a white supremacist hand gesture outside the window of his truck. But he's not a white supremacist, he's Latino, and he wasn't making a hand gesture, he was probably just flicking a booger. Is this really who we want to become? A society of phony, clenched asshole avatars, walking on eggshells, always looking over your shoulder about getting ratted out for something that actually has nothing to do with your character or
Let's be clear, it's not me who's changed, it's the left, he told Vanity Fair. A significant portion has gone crazy, and I'm not afraid to call it out. Despite facing criticism, Maher's career has remained largely unaffected. His show continues to air on HBO, and his blunt commentary has resonated with those frustrated by the far-left's stance on various issues. Maher's case shows that established figures in Hollywood often have more freedom to express controversial views without immediate repercussions. But Carano's situation serves as a stark reminder that for others, speaking out can lead to swift and severe consequences. Both cases illustrate the growing tension in Hollywood between the dominant ideology and those who dare to challenge it. Matthew McConaughey, the Oscar-winning actor and self-identified centrist, has increasingly leveraged his platform to challenge what he perceives as extreme political views from both sides, particularly in Hollywood. In a notable 2020 appearance on Russell Brand's podcast, he stirred significant conversation by critiquing what he termed the anti-liberal left.
There is a lot on that illiberal left that absolutely condescend, patronize, and are arrogant toward that other 50%.
This bold statement ignited widespread debate, garnering praise from some for his candor while others accused him of misrepresenting progressive politics. McConaughey's outspoken nature fueled speculation about a potential gubernatorial run in Texas, although he ultimately decided against it. His political commentary remained in the spotlight with a passionate speech delivered at the White House in 2022, further solidifying his place in contemporary political discourse.
We need to restore our family values. We need to restore our American values.
His journey illustrates how a well-established star can use their influence to confront prevailing political narratives within Hollywood without facing severe backlash. McConaughey's story exemplifies the power of an artist to stand by their beliefs in a challenging environment. In conclusion, the trajectory of Matthew McConaughey and other Hollywood figures who dare to voice their opinions serves as a powerful reminder of the complexities of political discourse in today's society. McConaughey's willingness to engage with contentious issues and challenge prevailing narratives has not only sparked conversations but also encouraged others to reflect on their beliefs and the importance of open dialogue. As we navigate an era characterized by heightened polarization, it becomes increasingly vital to foster an environment where diverse viewpoints can coexist, even in the entertainment industry. The courage displayed by McConaughey and his peers highlights the risks they take in a landscape where dissenting opinions can lead to significant backlash. Yet, their commitment to authenticity resonates with audiences who feel similarly constrained in expressing their thoughts. Furthermore, this phenomenon underscores a broader cultural shift where individuals are beginning to recognize the value of civil discourse, even when it challenges their own ideologies. In a nation where a substantial portion of the population feels apprehensive about voicing their political perspectives, the actions of these brave actors serve as an invitation to engage in meaningful conversations. Ultimately, as we explore the narratives surrounding wokeness and the push for authenticity in Hollywood, we must also reflect on the implications of silence versus the power of vocal dissent. By embracing diverse opinions and fostering respectful debate, we can hope to cultivate a more inclusive and understanding society, one where creativity and free expression thrive alongside differing political views.